Hello everyone, Tomer here. I'm officially in the shipping container and just looking out at my beautiful views as you can see from behind me and then the one of the valley in front of me. We just got back from Muncie a couple days ago and we were there for the Chag, and of course we heard about the current events that happened. And the basis of this video is I want to go over that, and this is why we prep. I think that's the best way to describe this. Us as Jews and non-Jews, who are probably going to be, most of the chance is going to be watching this. As far as from a Jewish perspective, and the whole point of this channel is I was specifically talking on the biggest problem that the Jewish nation faces, and that's usually aside assimilation and aside, hate and things like this. It's really, in the nation of Israel, is the terrorist attacks that have happened just recently. They're not even terrorist attacks, it was a full-on invasion. We are at war, as everyone knows. And I guess I also want to say that this is not a conspiracy. I'm hearing a lot of people, especially, which is kind of shocking because prepping seems to be more of a conservative value, and I've noticed about 50% of them are all of a sudden, when it comes to Israel, it's a conspiracy. The government is the ones who sold out their people. There had to have been a rat. And this is going out to a lot of these prepper channels are like that. Maybe, just maybe, the world has some horrible things out there. And when the world has these horrible things, and you see what's going on, we were right all along. That these things are coming for you. You could prepare for it. Most importantly, spiritually. We're not going to live in fear. But when you have borders wide open, security gets lax. We put too much of a rely on technology. Even simple things like GPS. How many of you have an actual map? How many of you have a good memory of the layout of your state or the United States if you had to start hiking somewhere? Grab a rifle, grab your backpack, and survive out there on the road. How many of you could do that? I've tried it. I've done 30-mile hikes, and I can just tell you, when you look out into the wilderness in a place like Arizona, or when I'm back in Israel, you look at the wilderness in places like that, it's rough. Do you know the things that you can do to go and find water? Just simple things like that. When I was back in New York recently, in Muncie, we went upstate to the Adirondack Mountains. Lush, trees everywhere, water as far as you can see. But in the central central part of the state, you go and you look, and there is no shortage of deer. But for every quarter mile, you've got something like 8 deer, or 4 deer for every square or half a square mile. You've got something like 8 deer. You get up in the mountains, it's for every 2 square miles. You have 3 deers or something like that. I saw the charts. My brother was telling me about it. These are the things to take into consideration. Not everything's a conspiracy. Sometimes just bad things are happening, and you have to stay vigilant. And there's no guarantees. They only got to be right once, right? 1 out of 1,000,000 times of them trying, but when they finally hit, and look at the death toll. You can't replace those souls. Those souls, Baruch Hashem, they went to Shamayim. But, or Bezrat Hashem, we hope, right? We hope they did. That's up for Hashem to find out. We're not here to judge. And something else that was mentioned, and I noticed, there was 2 of those mushavs, those villages that were there. The gates were locked for Shabbat, so people couldn't drive in. They kept Shabbat, and they kept the barbarians at bay. That's something else that you should think about. If you're a Yid, if you're a Jew, keep Shabbos. Hashem protects you. There's been many times things that could have happened badly to me, family, friends. And the ones that kept Shabbos are the ones that, these things didn't happen to them. And I'm not talking terrorist attack. I'm saying car accident, just little things, For instance, there was a gentleman in New York. He had a jewelry store. His phone was going off right before Shabbos, his security alarm. What do? They break down through his jewelry store and the roof. They hide up in there's some kind of exhaust hood that was there. They were hiding in there, expecting him to come back. But because he kept Shabbos, because he had to open the safe, and then they come out and they ambush him. But because he kept Shabbos, turns his phone back on after Shabbat, what did he find? The police sent him a report. We found the people who broke in because they came out of, when we came to check because the alarm, nobody responded to the alarm. They kept calling, 911 will call you and see what's going on. And what happens after that? Cops show up. They arrest the guy. They let the owner know. And Baruch Hashem, he was still alive. Everything happens for a reason. May we take this tragedy, this attack, and wake up. Because the north of Israel, this isn't fear-mongering, this is reality. We don't want it to happen. But the north of the country is wide open also. Things just got lax. It wasn't a conspiracy. You have when your communications are down for what? 6-7 hours? And you got guys, you can see in the videos, they're out there, as soon as they hit those shooting positions, they just walked up, they start shooting at them, you lay cover fire. I know this from the Army, it's basic Ranger handbook tactics. You lay covering fire, you overwhelm them with what, 1,500 guys on motorbikes? That's why the Taliban use those things. They roll up on you super fast. They split out into how many dozens of teams? If not hundreds of teams. Let's say you've got even 1,000 guys on that border, you're not going to hit moving targets so easily. It's a fallacy a lot of people are thinking, that it was so easy to defend. And you got a 24-hour period. They laid that massive barrage of rockets. And you got guys coming in on hang gliders. That wasn't showing up on the radar. Think about it. Anything is possible in this world, especially when you throw in the commerce or the options of ambush, because that's what that was. Yeah, they had a nice buffer zone. Yeah, they could have had planes coming in. But the scarier part, worse than any conspiracy, is the fact that there was a cyber attack that looks like it hit and worked. And they were able to get off so many rockets. Even if Mossad and them knew, what were they going to do? How many, think about it, pre 9/11, ever since 9/11, how many times do we hear of terrorist attacks? How many times do they stop them? It only takes once. And if they keep trying, they're going to probe and find out what your weaknesses are. Keep that in mind. It's something everyone should think about. Signing off for now. And see you soon as the new projects are starting. We are trying to move to Israel. It's coming weeks, coming couple months, something like that. But you got to have teams. You got to have prepper teams across the nation. Anyone who's Jewish back in New York, LA, Texas, I think we should all link up and get our comms together, because that's really important to have. Comms is everything and what's about to come. Unless they hit us with an EMP or something like that. But they'll probably, I think that's like the least of our worries. I'm more worried about them taking out the power grid, and the border issue that we've been having also hasn't been helping at all either. These are all things to keep in mind, guys. Keep prepping. I'd love to live up here, but I think our missions are other places. And I'm talking with some people in Israel now to see what they can do, so at least I can go over there and serve in some kind of militia group or something like that, because we know that's probably going to be a reality. If they start lobbing, Hezbollah says that they've got 100,000 rockets up there, and they're dug in. Imagine if they're shooting those things and coming out of side of caves and stuff like that. You're not going to get them all. 5% of them come through out of 100,000. That's still 5,000 rockets. Most likely better rockets, some of them laser guided for all we know. Imagine if those things start hitting towns across the north. Yeah, it's all things to think about. But until then, let's link up. Checking out for now. Later.